Okay, Ryan, what is the best snack in your house right now? If I told you to go to your pantry and bring something back for me, what would it be?
Best snack in my house right now wouldn't be in the pantry. It would be in the freezer. And my family's really gotten into frozen cookie dough bites. Ben & Jerry cookie dough bites, you keep them in the freezer. They got half baked, they got sugar cookie, they got some more flavors. Highly addicting, but just so good.
Welcome back to Stacking Growth Snacks. I'm Steph Crugnola, and I'm here with Ryan Olestro, Senior Performance Marketing Manager at Refine Labs, and we are talking about running a paid search audit. So last time we talked about why it's important, who should be involved, and what those steps look like. And today we're going to talk about what you do with the results. So you've got all of this information, you've turned off Ask Jeeves, and you're ready to move forward. What do you do with these results and insights once you have them?
Hey, Stephanie, great to be back to talk about this. So this is really, really important here. The one thing you have to kind of do, and this is a big point, is you have to understand whether this needs to be an on-off switch situation or a gradual change situation. A lot of times, these things aren't black and white. There's gradients here. And so knowing kind of how to make these slow changes and kind of set these changes and optimizations over time is going to be really crucial. The first thing I would do is I would take the things that I know for sure have to be changed. So those are things like turning off search partners, making sure the location is presence and not presence and interest. Those are two that you're almost always, if those are on, you're just turning them off immediately. Others, you have to wait out, right? So for example, let's say that they have campaigns on and they're getting conversions from mobile. And historically in B2B, mobile doesn't convert as well. And if it does convert, the quality is kind of shaky, but you're getting conversions. And so the question becomes, do I shut this off right now? Or do I wait till we fix ops problems and then see the quality down the line and then shut it off? So that's a situation where I might talk to the team and go, you're getting conversions. We're not tracking these mobile conversions specifically using our tracking template. Let's set up the tracking template, keep it on, and just see what the quality is for the next 30 days or so. If everything that comes in is garbage, now we can cut mobile, we can save that money, reinvest it into some of our desktop only campaigns. Some campaigns just need a little bit of a tweak. So for example, issue I come across is, hey, you have these campaigns, they're set to maximize conversions, but you're only getting 10 conversions a month. That's not enough data for this algorithm to actually work. Google reps will tell you, well, they used to tell you, now they tell you just do it anyway, but they used to tell you, you need at least 30 a month to optimize, one a day. And people come and they have max conversions set for multiple campaigns and it's not bringing in a lot of conversions. I go, okay, let's really find the campaigns that we like and let's just switch those bidding strategies to manual, to just put me in there. I don't want you to try to find me a conversion. I just want to be in these campaigns because I'm confident about these keywords. That's kind of an example of kind of a slow and a fast change. Some other things you can think about doing as well is a quick thing. We haven't talked about this yet, but audiences. Make sure audiences are in these campaigns. This is going to help you today, but it might help you in the future. So for example, in Google Ads, you can set up these audiences, and audiences are things like enterprise software and B2B service, and these large groups of people that Google tries to classify. It doesn't do it retroactively. So if you get them set up to begin with, if you start to see some success, you can start manipulating bids based on them. That's kind of like a long-term setup that you can do. When I audit accounts, these are either not set up or not set up properly. For example, they'll have 50 audiences in there, anything from like gardeners to, folk music lovers, like they're part of your, you're just like, this is not a determining factor on if they're going to convert on my site, right? Like someone in market for B2B services, that is a group of people who I want to pay attention to. So going in and setting that up, it's not going to tip the apple cart, but it's a fast kind of thing you can do just to make sure that, hey, a month and a half from now, I'm going to be happy that I set this up because I might be able to use this information to make us that more profitable. All throughout this time, you're level setting on expectations. The client might be used to no conversions. If so, cool. Like it's expectations are nothing. So as long as you beat nothing, you're good. They might get a ton of conversions, right? So how do you shape that conversation? Understanding the levers that we're pulling and why we're pulling it so that everyone understands the strategy and the narrative so that they can explain it to anyone else in the company, to themselves, to some random person on the street is going to help you here. We are focusing on quality over quantity because Google can get you a lot of bad conversions. And we are only here to get you the best ones. That's kind of the first things I start to think about when it comes to really steering the ship the direction that we want it to go.
How often do you recommend running this audit? Because you make those minor or major changes. Some of them are gradual, some of them are immediate. How often do you go back in and recheck to see how those changes are working and make more changes?
It depends on a couple things. The number one thing it probably depends on is the website. Has the website gone through updates? If the website gets updated, it's 50-50 chance that the form itself got updated. If there's been any updates in your CRM or your marketing automation platform, like, hey, we're using Marketo now instead of using Pardot. Hey, we're switching from this to this. You're gonna have to change the forms. Your conversions might not fire as you think they're going to fire. So it's one of those things where I would say, every year would be safe. I would look at this thing probably about anytime you change the website, maybe half a year, just kind of go through the list again. What do I know has changed? How has our strategy changed in the last 6 months? Anything like that. Because another scenario would be our audience is very different and we've had to change this strategy in lots of ways. Knowing kind of this is where we started and now we don't use these bidding meta strategies, we use this one and we've been finding some success here. Just having kind of this, I went from A to B and this is what I saw is really important. I would say what would be more valuable is probably like a performance analysis. We do that here at Refine Labs. We analyze paid search from campaign keyword down to opportunities and revenue. That is something that I would do probably twice a year, just to make sure we're on the right track. But once you have things set up, as long as you don't copy things wrong, you'll be okay. People get into trouble usually when they expand geos. So it's like, hey, we're in EMEA, but you're actually not in EMEA, you're in UK and Ireland. Right? So you have like 10 EMEA campaigns and somewhere in UK, Ireland, somewhere in Spain, Italy, Germany, somewhere in the Nordics. And you're just like, okay, do we need to like level set here and make sure we're all like, everything is where everything needs to be? It's something you can go through lightly, probably once a year. That'd be my final answer. Put it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
All right. So one last question in this set. I think it seems pretty easy to identify waste, right? Where you're spending, but you're not getting conversions. How do you use this data to explore gaps or opportunities that you're missing? Because that seems a lot more difficult to find the avenues that you should be, but where you can get results that you're not actively spending. Usually
what happens is people are overspending and they get to save money because they're not in as many things. However, you do want to maximize this channel to the fullest if it does have this potential in it. Like you mentioned, it's not good enough just to cut waste and think it's happy. It's actually finding where you win and making sure you're there and you're getting everything you can get from it. Review of the keywords and campaigns from conversion to opportunity to revenue is going to be extremely important. That's going to be your baseline. That's where we've been, right? Once you know where you've been and what's working, you cut out the rest, and now it's on to expansion. Where could we go from here? There's a couple schools of thought here. The two biggest kind of ways to think about how to expand would be ideas like, are these category keywords or these capability keywords? So what's the difference between that? If it's a sales productivity software, that's the category. The capability is, how do I help my reps hit their quota, right? Like, it's like, okay, like that could be a lot of different things. This thing does help you do that, but they don't understand that there's a category that can help them get there. It's like,
it sounds like it goes a lot into the Refine Labs creating demand bucket. where people might not know what they need, but they know what they need it to do. They don't know it exists. They don't know who you are. They don't know the category, but they know what they need for themselves, and you can jump into that.
Yeah, 100%. We worked with a lot of different companies, and we kind of talked about this last episode with this whole, hey, we don't really want to be educating on paid search because people go to paid search, and we want them to already know what they want. And we want to use paid social to educate them on why this type of solution is what they need. And capabilities kind of blends that line a little bit, where it's people who might not know the category but understand the capabilities that they want, right? They've never heard of a ladder, but they need to get on the roof. So those are the kind of two branches of expansion you could go into. I look at the website's organic rankings. If they've been doing SEO, if they've been around a while, they likely have some kind of SEO built up. And I look at the phrases they're using. Is this, anti-fraud? Is this about hacking? Is this about all these other things? Then I go to their competitors. I usually go to a competitor that has been doing SEO really well. And I'll start going through their organic keywords, and I'll start digging in there. I'll start digging into competitors' search keywords and what are they bidding on. Doesn't mean I trust it. It doesn't mean it's working for them. Do not assume it's working for them, but use this as fodder to say, okay, someone might be bidding on something like sales rep quota attainment. And you're like, I don't know if I have a landing page that's really about quota attainment, right? I have a landing page that's about ramping a sales rep quickly. I have a landing page that's about coaching and creating learning opportunities for reps so that, your kind of poor performing reps can become better performing reps. But I don't have this kind of quota attainment thing. So maybe I don't want to play there. So you take everything with kind of a grain of salt, and then you bring it back to the internal stakeholders, because they're often, they know their company best, right? The clients know the company best. The product teams knows the product the best. The CMO knows the marketing the best. And you say, is this a game we want to play? Right? And they'll go, yes, this hits it on the head. We have to be careful, but yes, we can play here. We don't really want to touch this. We don't want to play this game. People who come in asking for this are poor quality, poor fit. They don't get through the process. It wastes our rep time. We're not going here. So those are two, using the SEO tool and digging into organic and paid search results is probably my favorite thing to do.
All right. Well, I love hearing your favorites. I have loved learning more about how you take all of those insights and move forward with them. And next time, we're going to talk about building a cohesive and unique strategy. You've talked a lot about getting everyone on the same page. We're going to do a little more of that in the next episode. So thank you so much, Ryan, and we'll see y'all next time.